The best memory of our suburban home in Phoenix, Arizona, now makes me feel like I'm looking at a perfect but shattered porcelain vase. It used to be our fortress, filled with the ringing laughter of our 8-year-old daughter Olivia and the comfort of shared dreams. My name is James. I'm a high school physics teacher and baseball coach, and my wife, Sarah, was a leading executive at a prestigious advertising agency. Her unstoppable, vibrant energy defined our life together for a decade. We had built a typical American life: school plays, Saturday hikes in the canyons, and plans for expanding our family. However, recently, the foundation of our life began to crack. Sarah's increasing work hours, her late client meetings, constant private phone messages, and emotional withdrawal, which I initially blamed on career pressure, turned out to be something much worse. The coldness that enveloped her was not fatigue, it was absence. The real devastating truth exploded at a gala event that Sarah had pleaded with me to attend. It was a glittering, extremely glamorous affair at a 5-star hotel in downtown San Diego. Olivia was with my parents, and I felt out of place among Sarah's polished colleagues, slowly sipping a soda, while she, in an elegant black dress, worked the room with professional ease. That's when I noticed her with Derek, the creative director she had casually mentioned. Their glances were too prolonged, too candid. His hand lingered on her elbow longer than propriety allowed. Later, I caught them in a quiet hallway. They were kissing. Her soft, carefree laugh echoed in the emptiness like a gunshot. My heart, it seemed, failed, turning into cold stone. But before I could react, another player entered the scene. Derek's wife, who was clearly watching them too. She flew up to Sarah, and a loud, emotional argument broke out. The dispute quickly escalated, and Sarah, flustered and drunk, tripped down a short flight of stairs, hitting her head hard. An ambulance arrived, and I, numb, followed them to the hospital. She lay there like a punishment I had no right to forgive. Diagnosis: a mild concussion, no lasting damage. The real injury was done to our marriage. She confessed to me, crying in the hospital bed. A 4-month affair with Derek, which, according to her, was fueled by his attention and her feeling stifled by our routine. It was a mistake, she sobbed. But that kiss, that secrecy, was a choice made while I trusted her implicitly. I didn't say a word, just processed her words, and later, the messages I found on her phone. Flirty exchanges, hotel plans, her calling Derek her escape. Each message was a sharp knife, proof that she had built a parallel life while I coached Olivia. My anger didn't explode, it hardened. Cold, resolute, and firm. I hung up, my fingers clutching the phone. I had made sure that Derek's career, just like his fake charm, would fall apart. But I wasn't done yet. The next step had to be decisive, irrevocable, and it concerned not only them, but our shared home, which had just become a battlefield. Everyone pleaded with me for mercy. Our relatives, friends, even her attending doctor. "She's hurting, James. She needs your support," her sister said. My brother urged compassion, citing her injury. But forgiveness was not an option. Her affair wasn't a casual slip-up, but a deliberate betrayal, flaunted in front of everyone at an event I attended. It was a public act of contempt, not a secret lapse. The next morning, I called my lawyer, Mr. Harper, outlining the divorce plans. My priority: Olivia's stability and keeping our home as her unbreakable fortress. Then I learned that Derek's wife, Kayla, had also filed for divorce. Her anger was aimed at both of them. I sent her an anonymous tip with copies of Sarah's texts, thereby ensuring a thorough scrutiny of Derek's career. By evening, his company had launched an HR investigation, and Sarah's reputation wobbled like a shaky chair as gossip spread within her circles. Sarah returned from the hospital. She was pale, fragile, but immediately began to plead. "I'll break up with Derek immediately," she promised, offering me her phone, begging for family therapy. But her act was a wound too deep for pleas to heal. That kiss in the hallway, her texts, her utter disregard for me and Olivia, it all became an insurmountable wall. I firmly told her she had to temporarily move in with her sister. I needed space to isolate Olivia's world. School, baseball, bedtime stories. A buzz swept through the transient, sophisticated business district of Avalon. The gala incident became the primary source of gossip. Sarah's fall and her affair were discussed in every coffee shop. The circle of friends split. My old buddy, Marcus, completely backed me, stating that such betrayal was unforgivable. Her mother insisted on reconciliation, citing her injury. I kept the texts private, letting the rumors do their work. I was offered counseling, but I refused. Her affair, her public betrayal, was not up for discussion. It was a verdict rendered while I stood nearby. Sarah made efforts, sending letters, showing up at Olivia's games, but every time I saw the image of her with Derek, I heard his laughter in every word she spoke. Olivia was my anchor. Her childish laughter and the phrase, "Daddy, let's kick the ball harder," kept me grounded. But our house had turned into an empty shell. Sarah's presence was just a ghost. I looked at my phone. A message from the lawyer arrived. The divorce case was moving quickly. But when I closed my eyes, I saw that hallway again. I realized that the only way to regain control was to get Sarah out of this house completely, regardless of her pleas. Otherwise, I would never protect Olivia from her shadow. The divorce process began. Mr. Harper pushed for the fastest possible settlement, focusing on Olivia's stability and my right to the house. Sarah's visits became tense, filled with painful silences and thinly veiled recriminations. What broke my heart the most were Olivia's questions. "Why is Mommy so sad?" The hospital did not erase her choices. It only amplified their consequences. Her affair led her there, not me. I was not her savior. The park where we used to picnic became a phantom place. Her kiss in the hallway cast a shadow over every memory. My refusal to forgive was not cruelty, it was self-preservation, a firm refusal to let her betrayal rewrite my history. Sarah's injury drew sympathy from her circle, but her actions cost her family. She hadn't expected my resolve. She probably thought I would cave under the pressure from family and friends. She was wrong. I was building a new life for Olivia and myself, but trust is a lesson I couldn't reteach. Sarah's career spiraled downward. Her marketing firm sidelined her from key projects as the gossip escalated into a corporate scandal. Moreover, Derek's dismissal from the company became public proof of her misconduct. Her pleas, letters, voicemails that I kept could not undo her choice. Olivia's drawings of our family, where she now only drew the two of us, became my fuel. Our home is a fortress I will protect. The city whispers intensified. Derek's fall, Sarah's fiasco. Yet my pain did not subside. Her affair was a scar that wouldn't fade. I wasn't looking back, only forward, for Olivia, for a life free of her lies. Her hospital stay was a consequence, not a redemption, and my refusal to forgive became the boundary she never expected. Everyone begged for mercy, but I saw her true face in that hallway and in those messages. Sarah's affair broke more than our vows. It broke our home, and I wasn't going to carry her weight. I looked at her face, trying to find sincerity in it, but I only saw the fear of loss. Her desperation was escalating, and I knew Sarah's next move wouldn't be a plea, but an attempt to fight. I had to be ready for it. Her game wasn't over yet. My focus on Olivia's laughter, on her trust, was my daily routine. I was building a future where we didn't need Sarah's shadow. Her betrayal put her in the hospital, but it was my refusal that kept her out of our lives. I changed the locks on the doors, both literally and figuratively. My resolve hardened. After weeks of emotional struggle and Sarah's futile attempts to return home just for one night, Mr. Harper completed the final stage. We obtained a temporary restraining order which granted Sarah only supervised visits with Olivia and me the exclusive use of the house. It was a clean, legal, unambiguous wall. I could not afford to feel anger, because anger is a form of attachment. I needed complete indifference. She gave me one last look, full of resentment and confusion, not understanding how her small mistake could lead to this. She had hoped for the good James, who always forgave, but he was gone. There was only James, the father who protected his daughter. I hugged Olivia, breathing in the scent of her hair. She was whole, and that was all that mattered. Sarah remained there, on the doorstep, outside the fortress. I closed the door feeling not triumph, but only a final, unwavering peace. Some betrayals, sealed with a kiss in a crowd, are not healed with bandages. They demand distance, and I provided it, standing firm in the space that had finally become only ours.